Hi, I'm Justin Wink, Ph.D., and you're listening to the Engineering Emotions and Energy Podcast. Are you ready to bust burnout, pursue your passion, have more time, money, energy, and relationships you actually love, including the relationship with yourself? If so, then this podcast is for you. I'm a best-selling author, coach, consultant, speaker, and a leader in transforming people's lives from living in fear, obligation, and guilt to living a life of joy, ease, and love. What's most important is that I can teach you all this in a way that's enjoyable, easy, fast, and can actually last. Let's begin. Today, I am talking about choosing your challenges. Welcome to the show. I am recording this from beautiful Arenal Volcano region of Costa Rica. In the background is where the volcano is. There is currently clouds covering it up. Will they be here during this whole show? I don't know. Maybe it'll dissipate. Maybe it'll go away. We'll find out. That's sort of the fun of being on location. You don't know what's going to happen. And also, speaking of that, there's construction going on. Wasn't sure. I tried a couple of things. I tried doing it in my car. I could still hear the construction. The lighting wasn't good. So there's all these things that come up in life. And we're just like, what are you going to do about it? So going to be going over what are the possibilities that you can do about it, because oftentimes we feel like things are happening to us, yet more and more I'm realizing, and I want you to realize this too, that things are being done for us, and we never know exactly how things are going to work out, what's meant to happen, or how we're going to learn and grow by what comes our way, and that we really have a choice in all of this. And you might be thinking, Justin, what do you mean I have a choice in my challenges? So I'm going to tell a few stories of where I've had challenges and the choices I've made. And then, we're going to show you how this can relate to your life, because it really doesn't matter if I'm doing great. What matters is if you, my listener, and thank you for being a listener, thank you for being a part of this podcast. I do ask that you subscribe. And while you're at it, subscribing, tell a friend, maybe even rate this 5 stars wherever you listen to your better podcast. And always hoping that this is one of the better podcasts you get to enjoy. And also would like to ask if you got any questions or things you would like, podcast@justinwink.com, or just, if you're seeing this through a post on social media, do a little comment there. Or let me know, like, you love what you're doing. There's something you don't like. Again, that's a great time to slide in my DMs and let me know, hey, Justin, this could be done better. Appreciate that. So I'm here in the Arenal region of Costa Rica. So there's a big volcano. Trust me, it's there. It's beautiful. It's a volcano that looks like a volcano. If you're on my social media, Justin Wink, Ph.D., across all the things. There's TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. There'll definitely be some pictures of the volcano looking like a volcano. Getting here, though, to Costa Rica, this is now my 5th time being in Costa Rica. And it's my 3rd time, I believe, coming to this particular region to be around the volcano. And I come from the San Francisco area, California, and just about always it's been a very, very challenging event to make it to Costa Rica, where there usually has to be at least one stopover, and often that stopover is very long. And usually I've done it where there's been a red-eye flight, and I can't sleep on planes. At least I haven't been able to so far. Perhaps soon I'll be able to sleep on planes. So effectively, would usually be a red-eye flight to Houston and then like a 5-hour layover. And I've usually found this just completely miserable because I'm exhausted, go 24, 36 hours without sleeping essentially. And it's just not fun. And it's just like, okay, yeah, but Justin, you're going to Costa Rica. Correct. I am getting to go to Costa Rica, so it's worth it. Yet, why do we have to make things that we want to enjoy? Why do we have to make that so hard, so difficult, so full of suffering? Can't we make it easier? And when I was booking this trip, that was what I went in with, is how can I make it even more enjoyable coming to beautiful Costa Rica? Because it's like, now that I'm here, it's fantastic. I've been sitting in hot springs and gotten to hike some beautiful areas with lush jungle stuff and eat some delicious food. Yeah, can it be a little bit more enjoyable? And this really is what I believe that all of life should be, is how can we find the most joy, ease, and love in just about anything and everything we do? If there is a feeling of this is like awful, this is hard, this is just suffering, then it probably means that we might be due to make some different choices. So the choice I decided to make in this trip was, one, not do a red eye. So I was able to find a flight that started in the morning and got me to Costa Rica at the end of the day. This still came with a 7-hour layover in Los Angeles. And I don't know if you've been to LAX. It is not the most delightful airport in the world. Just isn't. There's more delightful. Singapore airport, fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful airport. Highly recommend if you got, 8 hours, you can enjoy it at the Singapore airport. Very, very good. LAX, not as much. So I decided it'd be great if I could find a place to nap, because again, I had to get up at about 4:45 in the morning to make the flight. So a great place to nap would be awesome, and maybe get started on a little sunning with a pool. So you can find day use hotels. And so I was able to find one. The airport shuttle picks me up, takes me, check in, only get the room for about 5 hours, which is all I need. And I had the most beautiful nap and got to kick it in the pool. It was just really enjoyable to really get started on the vacation before I even get on the main flight. And then it's about a 5-hour flight to Costa Rica, which ended up being very enjoyable. And I met a woman who's a medical doctor, and she was looking to write a book. So I was able to tell her about my book writing process and hook her up with my publisher. So it's amazing when you take care of yourself and do things that make life a little bit more enjoyable, easeful, how you start running into things and people and being able to pay that forward. And I know I'm going to make this woman's life way easier, because my publisher, Inspirational Book Writers, they are phenomenal. Highly recommend if you are looking to write a book, if you've got an idea, or maybe you've even started, I would highly recommend them. So that was one way that I chose my challenge to be less challenging. So the second is land in Costa Rica late at night, have a hotel near the airport, wake up, and I need to drive to this Arenal location. It's about a 3.5-hour drive to get here from San Jose. And at some point, there are some fantastic roads, yet there's also some 2-lane roads that have no place to pass. So I ended up getting stuck behind someone who was going really, really slow, especially around the curves, and then not much faster when there wasn't the curves. And I was noticing myself getting frustrated. So I grew up in Southern California, and I believe there, for whatever reason, most people can tell I'm from Southern California because I drive with purpose, I drive to get places, and I drive fast when I can drive fast. I believe it's because there's so much traffic in Southern California usually that we take that speed limit not as a speed limit, but as a speed average. So when there's not traffic, those of you that are engineers or math pros know that if you want the average to be something, if you have an amount of time below the average, you need to make that up with time above the average. So thus some speeding. So I like to drive fast. I enjoy it. I find it fun, exciting, exhilarating. And if I'm not able to, I can notice myself getting frustrated. And I was like, am I just going to be frustrated behind this guy for the next 20 or 30 kilometers? I say kilometers because that's what they use here, because it's Costa Rica, not America. And I'm like, I could, and hoping I find a place to pass, or hope that this person's going to do something differently. Or I can just pull over at the next spot that's got some coffee, get a coffee, get some water, enjoy the view. And that's what I did. So I chose the challenge of being a little bit later to my destination, which doesn't matter. I'm on fucking vacation. I have nowhere I need to be at any time. And I got to have some lovely coffee with the woman that served it, helped me a little Spanish of how to say, this smells really good. I already forgot it, but it was fun. It was way more enjoyable. And I got to have a way more amazing drive at my pace that I enjoyed, with a little speed and then a little taking relaxation. And it worked out a lot better. And so that was another example of choosing my challenge. Now, there are some that go like, okay, Justin, these are easy challenges, like, travel, like this is all opt-in shit. What about the rest of life? What about the challenge of a shitty job and not being able to quit it because of the money, or the family that you live with? And if you've read my book, if you've heard other podcasts, the challenges that I had, with a lot of members of my family. And there are those that like to say that even what you are born into at a level, you are choosing that. And whether you believe that or not, to me, what ultimately matters is once you have the concept that you have choice, that you are 100% responsible for whatever has come into your life, that you have a choice in what you do about it. And at the very least, you have the choice of how you're going to respond versus react to any given situation. And we often have way more choice because often that choosing and how we're going to respond leads to a whole lot of other options. So if you listen to a couple episodes ago where, it's being that undercover boss of your life. So when you choose to see that you're the CEO of your life, things unfold so much differently. Like yesterday, I was at a hot springs. It was just phenomenal. It wasn't the one I was planning to. The one I was planning to go to, they were full. So I ended up getting a tip to try another one, just a couple spots down. And it was just this beautiful boutique hotel with their own hot springs that were gloriously hot. And I got some dinner and I come back to the hottest hot spring. And there's some broity bro guy doing a video FaceTime with, I don't know, tell me, oh yeah, it's going to be so sick. It's so tight. Like, it's going to be party nonstop. You're going to just love it. It's going to be fucking bra great. Like, yeah. And at first I was like, I can't handle, this is just, so I got up and I went to another hot springs and was there. And I'm like, you know what? I really want to be in the hottest hot spring. And it brought up a lot of like nervousness because in the past I didn't like, confronting people saying like, hey, could you do this something different, especially if it's a man. And even though this guy is probably like in his early 20s or something, it's still like, I don't know, even though I'm in this paradise, it's like, what is he going to do? Beat me up in the hotel hot springs? Highly unlikely. That all these fears were coming up. And I was just like, probably time to confront some of these fears and choose to have the hot springs experience I want. So I went there and said to him, hey, are you about to wrap that up? And he was like, oh, do you want my seat? And I'm like, no, the phone call, like here to relax, and to you on the phone, it makes it hard to relax. And he was kind of a bitch about it, which I would not surprise somebody who's going to be completely unaware of where he is and what the intention is of the location. Yet he got up and left, and I was like, great, and I got to enjoy. And then the rest of the people that I got to meet and interact with were just pleasant, really enjoyable. And so again, it's taking a moment to look at what's going on, what do I want, how can I work with that, and choosing a different challenge. So instead of me going with my default challenge of I'm not going to get what I want, I'm going to have to just suck it up, and I'm just going to have to go without, I decided to go with the challenge of, well, what if I expressed my desire to have this be a place where people aren't on their phone? What if this is a place where you're either quiet or you're engaged in conversation, which are completely different than just hearing one side of a conversation. So it turned out to just be really, really awesome. And I'm so glad I did that. And you might be also going, hey, Justin, okay, so again, these are like simple things. Wouldn't have been the end of the world. What about my job? What about my relationship? What about my family? And it may sound different, but it's really not that much different. And if you really want, because I'm about to wrap this up, because I got to check out of this hotel in a couple hours, because the next spot I'm going to is Jaco, which is a great little beach city right on the coast. So some beautiful views. I've gone surfing there before. I don't know if I'll go surfing, but definitely looking forward to seeing some beautiful sunsets. So going to be some more photos, some more video being posted on the social media, Justin Wink, Ph.D., Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that fun stuff. So do highly recommend, if you're not following me there already, please do. So going to be wrapping up. So I've got lots of other episodes, and I would highly recommend my book for lots of very practical tools, tricks, tips to basically learn how you can be at choice in all aspects of your life, how to set boundaries, how to figure out what it is you want, then how to go for what you want in a way that is easy. I don't think things should be hard. Like, should there be a little bit of growth edge challenge? Yeah, but you get to choose how challenging that feels. What is the degree of difficulty and over what amount of time? That's part of the choice. Choosing your challenges, how you go about growing and getting what it is you want in life. And I have so many tricks in my book engineered to love, going beyond success to fulfillment. So I'd highly recommend that. Like, it's seriously stuff I've, charged people hundreds, thousands of dollars to teach them. And it's just all in this book. For the paperback, it's under $20. To the ebooks, even less, I think less than half that, $10. And it's available worldwide. So wherever you're listening to, if you haven't gotten it yet, highly recommend it. And you also get access to some amazing resources. Like, I have guided experiences, I have worksheets. So it's me in a box for $20, even though I don't like to be in a box. I like to get out of my box, create new boxes, and realize that there never was a box. I created the box, and I can have whatever box or no box, whenever, however I want. And I want you to have the same realization. So with that, I'm going to wrap this up. They are hammering fiercely. I'm really curious how this ends up sounding. I have full faith in my editing team. I'm using a little lav mic that hopefully is helping this out. This is an experiment. We're trying it out, but I'd rather get some great content to you from a great location as soon as possible than waiting for the perfect stuff. Let's see if the mountain came out. It's still cloudy, but sometimes the clouds, they're just not meant to pass yet. So it's all in good time. So just if things aren't working out now, keep trying different things. Keep moving forward. Eventually, the clouds will pass, and you'll get the view, you'll get the relationship, you'll get the health, whatever it is you desire, it's there. And sometimes it's just a matter of time, and it might not be the time you want, but it'll be the time that it's meant to be. And with that, I'm going to bid you a good day.